Worshipping uncertainty as practice. And I subtitle this jokingly because what other title expresses this in 4 words? Believe it or not, I used to be one of those toxic productivity coaches. I'd set goals and crush them and then preach about how others could do the same. I even taught people how to own their mornings. Oh, I have a book called Good Morning How to Win Your Day, and it's still on Amazon. But behind the curtain, I was quietly shaming myself every night, wondering why some of my to dos they kept sneaking onto the next day's list. These days, life laughs at my plans more than I do. Just this very afternoon, I had dinner clearly figured out. Nigerian style rice, which meant having some good atadidi with dodo. That's plantain. All ingredients neatly scheduled for a Publix delivery. Yet, as I write this, I'm almost certain my dinner plans are down the drain. Yesterday was no different. I drove to the dealership for a simple oil change. Simple oil change. I budgeted $70 and even padded it with an extra 20 just in case the economy and Trump tariffs had other plans for my wallet. Well, I walked out of the dealership without my car and with a $3,000 invoice for discovered damages. My gosh, don't these surprises just keep coming? But that's the thing, there's absolutely nothing that's certain. Absolutely nothing. Yet we want to somehow peg things into the ground to give it as much certainty. And lately, this has emerged into one of the most beautiful practices for me, an adoration, if you will, of the unknown. You see, not knowing is by itself a type of prayer. It is the quiet turning of the mind toward what it cannot grasp. Don't you see that now that more than ever we live most days reaching for understanding, rushing to tie loose ends and stacking answers like bricks to make our lives feel solid. Yet the most of our lives, when we feel the most alive, when the mind pauses, when we gush at the beautiful pastels of the skies, or when we are tickled by the laughter of a baby, or when we we are frozen from the kiss of a lover. In these times of short freezes, when the mind pauses, certainty dissolves, and we are opened up to something vast, tender, and yet wild. By the general nature of the mind, it seeks knowledge. It longs to know. It believes knowledge will secure it, that understanding will complete it, that explanations will relieve it. It chases explanations the way a child chases butterflies, never still long enough to notice the air itself. And yet, every answer it finds leads to another question, and soon the pursuit itself becomes a cage. Tell me you have not yet clearly seen this. Tell me. And so the more we know, the more we defend our knowing. The more we defend our knowing, the less we see. So the practice of not knowing, this, what I will now dub the prayer of not knowing, is a call to intimacy with what unfolds as it unfolds without a need to force it our way. It means sitting with life without needing to define it. It means letting a sunset be light, not language. It means hearing someone's pain and resisting the urge to fix it. It means trusting that reality is already whole without any labels. In not knowing, the mind loosens, the heart softens, and life shows itself as it is, unfolding, mysterious, kind. Now, I'm not saying not to have wishes for what we want our lives to be like. Oh no, there's a fine line here if you can bend a bit lower to see what I'm putting out here. It's seeing that our wishes, preferences, and all of that are also a part of this divine play that we can clearly honor. But it's also knowing that in the fulfillment or not fulfillment of them, what we are, whatever this that we are is, transcends even those desires. The sweetest spot in all experience lies here. It is the bowing to what exceeds us and what we exceed. I swear there is a quiet joy that comes when we realize you don't need to hold the world together. Even if you tried, you could never. We can rest in the unknown and call it worship. We can let our questions be our songs. We can let silence be our teacher. And so when we stop clinging to answers, even for a moment, the world becomes spacious again. The trees are no longer trees, they're shimmering presences. The wind is no longer air in motion. It is this mysterious movement without explanation. We begin to see that we have never really known anything and that this is not a failure, but grace. To live in not knowing is to fall in love with the infinite. It is to live as wonder itself, humble, alive, and free. Contemplative practice, the practice of not knowing. If you can, sit somewhere quiet and let your body settle. Let your breath become natural. Do not try to focus on anything. Just let attention rest as it is, open and unhurried. If you want and if you can feel the weight of your body on the chair or the floor, wherever, whatever other surface you are on. Feel the gentle rhythm of your breathing. And with the energy and your attention being within this very space that you're in, notice how the mind wants to fill the space. It searches for meaning, something to do, something to conclude. It may even ask, what the heck is this exercise going to do? Now, what you reach for thoughts and explanations. Now, gently notice its behavior and the subtle tension it carries. But in that noticing, be aware that you are the one noticing. Now, if your eyes aren't already open, you can open your eyes and look around. See shapes and colors without calling them anything. Just allow your attention to be wide open, to not label them. If you hear sounds, hear them without naming their source. And if there are any tastes that you're familiar with or that you're in contact with, or smells or feeling, feel them without dividing your experience into categories. And allow your perception to exist raw without language, open, free. And notice how peaceful it is when you stop insisting on meaning. Now, between one thought and the next, there's a small space. Notice it. Don't overthink it. Rest there. That is not knowing. That is the not knowing that I referred to. And it's not confusing. It is awareness before it attaches. Now stay a little longer each time you notice it. And let it expand like the light of dawn. Now whisper inwardly. I do not need to know right now. All I have to be is here right now. With that, feel how freeing that is. This is the surrender I referred to. It's surrender without defeat. It is reverence for mystery itself. It is what it means to walk with God. When you're ready, bring your attention back to your breath and let gratitude arise for this unknowing that allows everything to be. So, my suggestion with this practice is that you do this often. Over time, the unknown becomes friend. And you can join me in practice as we become less demanding of certainty, living in the open sky of wonder. That's all, friends.